yesterday? All right. So, yesterday, aphorism sheet. And real quickly, what are aphorisms? Somebody raise their hand, let me know.
Quotes or something, I guess you could say.
Okay, so they're quotes, they're statements from different individuals. Some well-known, some unknown, as they say in your sheet, right? But what is an actual aphorism? Who remembered to write this down yesterday when I said you might want to write it down? Yeah?
A clearly worded statement that makes a wise observation.
Very good. A cleverly worded statement that makes a wise observation or something that helps you lead a morally, hopefully a morally perfect life, right? Okay? So it's intended to help you live a morally perfect life, and it just kind of gives you a little bit more of an insight to it. Now, your assignment yesterday was to take a list of 22, choose 10 of those after reading all of them, and then to interpret them the best way you know how into your own words, and let me know what is being said there, okay? And remember, going along with our unit of rationalism, making sure that we think rationally, clearly about life. So let's get with that right now. And do I have any volunteers? And if I call on you, whether you're volunteer or not, if you could, okay? If you could, please let me know the number on the list that you chose. Then very nice and loudly, very clearly, read the aphorism, and then tell me your interpretation. All right? So, any volunteers? Don't all jump at once. Okay, I've got one right here, and then two right there. So, Sandy, nice and loud.
Well, first of all, mine's 20, and I don't know if that's right. I was going to ask you about it.
Okay.
Number 20 says...
Number 20.
Fish and visitors smell in 3 days.
Yeah, that's a good one. Fish and visitors smell in 3 days. So the aphorism says fish and visitors smell in 3 days. All that's missing is your interpretation of it. So let's go for it.
Don't overstay your welcome.
That's exactly it.
Okay.
Don't overstay your welcome. All right. It doesn't mean that your guests or your ancestors or your family are going to stink. Hopefully they don't. All right. But no, it just means don't overstay your welcome. Okay. Good. Excellent. Simple as that. You may go eat your sheep. Thank you. Okay. Go for it. Number 5. Okay, life is short, live it up. What do you think that means?
I think it means, I said if you don't live life to live it out.
Good, yeah, okay, so if you don't live life to its fullest, you may have missed out. You're only on this planet for a short amount of time, okay, no matter if that's 30, 60, 90, hopefully longer than what I just had, 34. I just turned 34 yesterday, right? So hopefully I have many more years to come. Thank you so much. All right, so with that being said, yeah, live life to its fullest. That's basically what it's saying.
Also for that one, it could be YOLO.
YOLO.
Of course, I knew someone had to say YOLO.
Okay. So
Right? Yeah, you live, what is it?
YOLO.
You only live once, right? Yeah, there you go.
I'll do another one.
Oh, well, thanks, Cam. I appreciate that. And then we'll go to Joel. Go for it.
Number 10. Number 10. Before you find your handsome prince, you have to kiss a lot of frogs.
Okay, so before you find your handsome prince, you have to kiss a lot of frogs. What do you think that means?
Basically, you will fail a lot before you succeed.
Okay, so one way of looking at it is that you will fail a lot before you succeed, right? Got married 3 months ago after 33 years of looking, right? And I failed a lot. Okay, a lot. Of course, it was never my fault. But,
Oh, sure it was.
just kidding. Okay, so yeah. So yeah, that's one way of looking at it. Did anybody else have a different way of looking at that? You've got to kiss a lot of frogs, okay, before you find your prince or your princess. I know. Anybody else? Yeah.
You have to get to know different people to find the personality.
Perfect. Okay. Different. In retrospect, different. Observation there. Okay. But say it one more time, nice and loud.
You have to get to know different types of people to find the personality.
Yeah, and it doesn't always have to mean relationships or anything like that. I mean, sometimes building friendships is a different kind of relationship, right? You got to get to know a lot of different people before you start knowing who you might want to hang out with, right? Selection of friends and all that other good stuff. So, yeah, good. Nice job. Joel.
I did my number 1, which is your eyes are always bigger than your stomach.
Oh, yeah. My dad is always like this. Your eyes are always bigger than your stomach. What? The famous aphorism from Confucius. Go ahead.
I have 2. I like food looks better than a face, or sometimes your eyes will deceive you.
Okay, so let's go with the second one first. Sometimes your eyes will deceive you, okay? Your eyes are always bigger than your stomach. A lot of times you want, you're greedy, right? You take too much of something. And remember, Ben Franklin, okay, from yesterday. Okay, Ben Franklin from yesterday talked about not taking an overabundance of things. Okay, does anybody remember the term he used there? Ben Franklin, talking about keep yourself from taking too much. Temperance, very good. Okay, so temperance, and that's exactly what Jolie's trying to say there. All right, so very good, nice job. Let's go with one more. Let's go with one more. Somewhere down the list, going once, going twice. Mr. Furter, thank you very much.
I did number 4.
Did number 4. This is a good one, actually.
Heaven is under our feet as well as over our heads.
Heaven is under our feet as well as over our heads. Okay, so the second part of that is the obvious. The confusion might be the first portion. What did you say that aphorism actually means?
I said you can find joy all around you.
You can find joy all around you. Exactly. Okay, very nice. Another way of looking at it, in my retrospect as well, is you know that we perceive that there is a heaven, okay, above, but also while you're here on earth, why can't you do good things as well, right? Why can't you enjoy the good things that earth has to offer, right? Before you take that next step and you go beyond upstairs, right? So it's also under your feet. So you got a lot of good things down here. You don't have to wait till you get to heaven. Remember the Puritans from the last unit? Okay, we talked about how my paradise lies above by the mighty architect that built my house, right? Anne Bradstreet. Okay. This is saying you don't have to wait till then to have good things. You can have it right here on earth while you're walking. All right, so good stuff. This is what I want you to do. Put your first and last name, put your hour, like usual, and pass it to the lovely ladies in the middle. Okay, so pass them up here to Sammy and Mallory. Sorry. Wow. Yeah, nailed it. Right. Last call, and we got naked. Thank you. All right. Okay. May I have your attention, please? Thank you very much. Okay, good. Nice and quick. All right, so a couple announcements. Yesterday, I'm sorry, 2 days ago, we had the opportunity, very opportune moment, to not only see a speaker, but also hear a speaker come to our school, Mr. Yeldon. And there's been a lot of talk about that, pros and cons of the presentation, but when it all comes down to it, he was doing public speaking. And at times, it looked like it was planned out and very well organized, and other times it looked like he went off topic and just kind of went astray. The main thing is, though, he came, he spoke, and you listened. So from that, as you sat there, hopefully, instead of saying, okay, when is this going to be over, all right, or, man, I've been sitting on this bleacher for way too much time, and I'm hurting, right? Hopefully you were kind of critiquing it. A little bit different from what we saw a few days ago with Jim Valvano. Jim Valvano didn't go up there and yell. Jim Valvano wasn't sweating constantly profusely, all right? But with that being said, both of them did a pretty nice job overall as far as getting the message across. An announcement over here on the board, Diversity Days, next week. We have the opportunity to go see one of our own, my colleagues, one of your teachers, okay, Mr. Duffy. He is going to.
I love him.
Is that a good? Okay, that's good. Okay, good. We're going to go see Mr. Duffy, and he's going to take his shot at doing some public speaking, and he's going to speak on diversity, very important topic during next week. That's the focus. So Friday, November 14th, both my English 10 classes are going to go listen to him. During that, he has about during the time we're going, he has about 200 not speakers, but he has 200 attendees. Okay, So we'll talk more about that, but I just want to let you know I'm trying to give you, instead of just watching speeches, on YouTube, things like that, all right, I want to give you a first-hand experience. So when that opportunity came, I jumped on that, and Mr. Kenny's going to take his class, Mrs. Allers, and many others. So you'll be down there with your peers, okay? So hopefully by that time, between now and then, we're going to be learning about such things as today, the 3 appeals that we've already started yesterday, but then also the rhetorical devices that you're going to hear when Mr. Duffy speaks, all right? Today's focus, real quick, all right, going with our rationalism unit. Unit objective is to identify the uses of rational thought. Rationalism we went over 2 days ago. Gave you the note sheet. We discussed that as a class. Rationalism means what? Thinking clearly, all right, to try to perfect yourself. If you do something for yourself to think clearly and logically and you succeed, and then you share that with your community, what is that called? Starts with an A? Altruism. Very good. Okay, you're being very altruistic. You as an individual make this society stronger. All right. So with that being said, we're going to revisit the speeches, Jim Galvano specifically today, to help us become a stronger society in public speaking. Because in 2 weeks, that's when you're going to be doing your big project by giving a persuasive speech that you're going to research. All right. With that being said, today's target goal is search for, recognize, and identify the 3 appeals, which we've already started. So that should be pretty simple for you. Learn about rhetorical devices if we have time, and then we'll apply it to another speech, Patrick Henry's speech to the Virginia Convention. And you'll need to bring your book for that one, so that's going to be tomorrow. For those of you who brought your books today, thank you, and I apologize for messing up the schedule. So, all right. What I want to do, though, is I want to start off class reviewing the appeals. And no, you don't have to get out your note sheet from the other day. All right? I'm actually going to show you, as promised, I'm going to show you some YouTube videos, commercials, that will actually show the appeals, okay, and everything that they stand for. As a review, real quick, what are the 3 appeals? Who can raise their hand and tell me one? What are the 3 appeals?
Emotional.
Emotional. And the Greek term for emotional is what? Everybody? Pathos. Very good. Okay, good. All right. What's the second appeal? Ethical. Ethics. And ethics are what? Your opinions. Okay? And the Greek term for ethical is ethos. And last but not least, rational. That's the unit. Okay? That's okay. That's all right. That's okay. Okay? But it's got a nail at the end. Okay? Or a nail. It does, and that's the unit. Yes? Logos. Okay? The Greek term logos, which means in English? Logic. Logical. And those are what? If opposite of opinion, they are facts. Okay? So take a look at this. I'm going to turn off the lights here in a second. Okay? Somewhere. All right, here we go. Ow. All right. All right. Let me have your attention, please. Okay. Need your attention. Thank you. All right. So with that being said, I'm going to show you a range, a variety of different videos here that show the 3 appeals. The first one, I only have 1 slide for it, and this is going to be logical. These are things that are fact, things that you cannot deny, things that you must prove in order to be credible. We talked about how important credibility is with your audience. So, this one has no speech at all. Okay, this one has no speech at all. It looks like the projector is overheating. Okay, that's great. All right. So hopefully that'll take care of itself. But I want you to sit back, and I want you to try to remember at least one thing, because when you hear a speaker, okay, you want to have them leave you with something. So with that being said, let me start this one. This is an example of logical appeal. American Red Cross, tons of facts up there. If I was to come to Grand Rapids and be an associate or employee of the American Red Cross and say, listen, we are in dire need of your money and your support because we are not going to be